rule, it says that you can't have a root in the denominator, right? So if you had something like this, do you know how to get rid of that root in the denominator?
No.
So you have to multiply top and bottom by root 3. Because what's root 3 over root 3?
1.
1. So you're not changing the fraction. So what's 1 times root 3?
1 times root 3 is 1 root 3.
Or you can just write root 3. And then what is root 3 times root 3?
Root 9.
Which is the same thing as?
Root 3.
No.
I don't know.
Well, I bet you know what that is.
That's 3, 3, I don't know.
It's 3. What's the square root of 49?
I don't know.
Like what same number times what same number is 49?
7.
7. What's the square root of 36?
6.
So root 3 times root 3 is root 9, but then you take the square root of 9 and you get 3. So I call this the happy face rule. What's the square root of happy face times the square root of happy face?
Another happy face?
Without the root. So you don't have to do the math. Like the square root of 10,000 times the square root of 10,000 is what?
10,000.
10,000 without the root, which is the point of what we just did. So what's root 3 times root 3? Like what's that times that? It's the same as the happy face rule.
It's 3.
Just 3 without the root. And then that one's done. This one's harder. So this one is harder because you have 9 minus root 3. So what you do with these is you have to do a little trick called multiplying it by the conjugate. So you write this exactly the same. So 9 and then root 3 and then 9 and then root 3. But then the sign here, see how this minus? The sign here is just the opposite. It's called the conjugate. So what is this whole thing anyway?
An equation?
But what is what was root 3 over here?
That was 3.
No, like what is that? Like what is like 4 over 4?
1.
1. So what is root 3 over root 3?
1.
1. So when you multiply this by that, are you really changing the value of the fraction?
No.
Same thing here. 9 plus root 3 over 9 plus root 3 is still 1. So you're not changing this, you're just rearranging it.
Okay.
All right? Do you remember how to FOIL?
No.
Okay. So FOIL, actually that's one of our lessons. You're supposed to know how to do that. So it's good that we're doing this. Okay. Okay, so I'm sure you've seen things like this where they've asked you to FOIL before. Have you heard the word FOIL?
No.
Huh. Maybe you haven't gotten to it in class yet. So FOIL it'll be on the test. FOIL, this stands for, I kind of have a separate lesson on FOIL, to be honest. Well, let's just put it up here. Roots. I can't actually. All right, let's just keep going. So it stands for first, outside, inside, last. All right? And if you think of a pair of like pants. So that's the first thing you want to think about. I'm going to put some locations. So like A, B, C, D. Which letters would represent the like inner thighs, I guess?
B and C.
B and C. So this, if you see this as A, B, C, D, which ones would be the inner numbers?
3 and X.
Good. Which ones would be the outer numbers?
X and -2.
Good. So this is your inner, and these are your outer. With me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's think of a garage. So, do you know what tandem parking is?
No.
Well, some apartments, or even parking spaces, wherever, restaurants or whatever, valet.
Oh, they're like a sign?
Well, you have like one car like blocking the other. And like this person has to actually move for this car to back out.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's think of it as the only way into this garage is this way. All right, and these are two cars. And the only way into this garage is this way. And these are two cars. Okay, so from the perspective of the person walking in, if I go A, B, C, D, so if the person walks this way, what's the first car you see?
The person C.
C. If you walk in this way, what's the first car you see?
A.
Good. If you walk in this way, what's the last car you see?
D.
And if you walk in this way, what's the last car you see?
B.
Okay, so if we go like this, and I go x plus 3 and x minus 2, okay, we're going to multiply the firsts together. What do you get?
The first one's together, you get x squared.
Good. So we're going to go right down FOIL. First, outside, inside, last. Now we're going to multiply the outsides together.
Okay. That's x and 2.
And it's x and negative 2.
Oh yeah, so it'd be negative 2x.
And we're going to multiply the insides together.
Plus 3x. Positive 3x.
And we're going to multiply the lasts together.
3, that's negative 6.
Okay. So you have x squared. Oh, and then what does this give you?
That's positive x plus x.
And minus 6.
Yeah.
So we foiled this open and got that.
Yeah, I think I remember doing something like that.
You might have.
Last year.
Maybe last year, yeah. No, but foiling is actually, but you actually have to specifically know how to foil. But it's actually the same thing as doing this. Look, what if you just had x, just this x right here, and you had x minus 2, which is this thing right here, and you distributed, what would you get?
You distributed, you get x squared minus 2x.
Okay, and let's say that you had this one right here, and you have x minus 2. So just that, and you go like that. What would you get?
3x minus 6.
Okay, and we put them together. So you have x squared minus 2x positive 3x minus 6. And what do you end up when you do that?
You get the same thing we did before.
Yeah, so it's foiling is the same thing. It's just like double distribution.
Okay.
But you have to know how to foil on the test. Okay. One other thing. If you have x plus 3 and x minus 3, this is like a special situation. So they're called conjugates. They're exactly the same thing except for what?
Except for the positive and the negative side.
So let's foil this open and see what happens.
Okay.
So what do you get with your first?
You get x squared.
What do you get for your outside?
The outside you get negative 3x.
Good. What do you get for your inside?
3x.
What do you get for your last?
You get negative 9.
Right. And what's going to happen right here?
That cancels out.
Yeah, you're going to get a middle wipeout. So if this is first, outside, inside, last, you really just needed to do your first and last.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to do any of that stuff, right? So you can just go, oh, first, oh, that's x squared. Last, oh, that's negative 9. Well, these guys up here are conjugates.
Okay.
So you just have to do the first and last.
Alright, so you do... How do you do that with that?
Well, the firsts are which ones?
The first are the 9 and the 9.
What's that going to be?
That's going to be 18.
No, because we're multiplying.
Multiply. 81.
81. And then the last, you can think of the happy face rule.
Oh, yeah, so that would just be 1. Or, I mean, not 1, 9.
Well, no, because it's what you're looking at right there.
3? Oh, so it'd just be 3?
3s. But you have a negative times a positive.
Oh, so it'd just be 0? What?
Well, it's like, let's pretend like we didn't do the happy face rule. So it'd be negative times positive is a what?
Negative times positive is a negative.
It's a negative. And then what is 3 times 3?
9.
9.
Yeah.
So, and then it's inside times inside, so it's the square root of 9. But what is the square root of 9? What's the same number? 3. No roots. They're out of the roots. 3. Or you can just do the happy face rule.
Oh, so there'd be 81 minus 3, and there'd be a 1 on top, right?
So here, now you're going to do that and that.
Oh, so you distribute that?
But this is outside, that's inside. The only thing that's outside here is invisible 1.
Okay.
So it's negative 9 root what?
Negative 9 root 3 or plus 3?
No, because this is like
Oh, just root 3.
What's next to that 9 is like an invisible root 1.
Oh, okay.
You see, so it's like that 9 times that, and then that 3 times the invisible thing.
Okay.
So it's in the root. So it's going to be root what?
Root 3.
Root 3, okay. And then that, so just outside times outside. What's outside that's invisible out here?
1.
1. And is my answer going to be positive or negative?
Positive.
Well, negative 1 times positive 1.
Oh, negative.
Negative. And then what's root 3 times root 3?
3.
3. Cool. And then now you can just like simplify that. I'll put it in here. So what is, you can't really do anything up there, right? So they can't talk to each other. Over, and then what is 81 minus 3?
Math. 78.
78. That should be it. That's like the worst case scenario. But there's a mistake. Hold on a second. I'm going to do it really fast down here. Okay, so I'm just going to talk really fast because I don't know where the mistake is. All right, so I'm going to multiply top and bottom by the conjugate. 9 plus root 3. And then over here is 9 plus root 3. And then it's, copy this down right. Okay, so then you have negative 9 root 3 right there. So negative 9 root 3 we're distributing. And then over here, it would be negative root 3 times root 3, which is 3. Like that. Over, I think the problem is just not simplified. Over first and last. So the first is 81. The last is negative 3. I understand. And then it's, what did we say it was, 78?
Oh, yeah.
All right, and then it's negative 9 root 3 minus 3.
What you're saying is 26.
Right. So what is 7 plus 8?
7 plus 8 is 15.
Okay. Can 3 go into 15?
Yes, 5 times.
Then 3 can go into 78. Okay, so then you go 3 goes into 78. And we can do the fast division way. You remember how to do that?
No.
So 3 goes into 7 how many times?
2 times.
Remainder what?
Remainder 1. Maybe.
Yep. And then 3 goes into 18 how many times?
6 times.
Okay. So it's 26. 3 goes into 78 26 times. Right. From the top, we're going to factor out a negative 3. All right, so factor out negative 3. Right, I'll just factor out a 3, actually. It's the same thing. Factor out a 3. Yeah, so factor out a 3. And what would you put here to make that happen again?
3.
Uh-huh. And then you have that root 3. So it'll be, it's negative 3. So 3 times negative 3 root 3 is negative 9 root 3. It's a lot. Well, it's not like reduced. And then 3 times what is negative 3?
3 times what is negative 3? 3 times is negative 1.
And then we take a 3 out of the bottom, which we did up there. And then you do that. And then you do that. And then this is the right answer, but they flipped it. So you see how that's negative 1?
Yeah.
It's negative 1 minus 3 root 3 over 26.
Okay.
Is that what they got?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't reduced.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Okay.